Hello, this is Sabika Syed and welcome to the Print Headlines. PM Modi speaks on Pahalgam attack anniversary, says India will never bow to any form of terror. On the first anniversary of the Pahalgam terror attack, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today asserted that India will never bow to any form of terror and the heinous designs of terrorists will never succeed. The Pakistan-based terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba had carried out the attack in Jammu and Kashmir last year, killing 26 innocent people, mostly tourists from across India. The Prime Minister said the nation remains resolute in its fight. Lok Sabha leader of opposition and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on the Pahalgam attack anniversary says India will never bow before forces spreading hatred and fear. On the first anniversary of the dastardly attack, Rahul Gandhi paid his heartfelt tributes to all the victims. He said the entire nation stands united against terrorism and reiterated that India will never bow before forces that seek to spread hatred and fear. The Congress leader emphasized unity and resilience in the face of such attacks. BJP delegation meets ECI seeks action against Kharge for terrorist remark. A BJP delegation comprising of union ministers including Nirmala Sitharaman approached the Election Commission of India today demanding strict action against Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge. The complaint relates to his terrorist remark against Prime Minister Narendra Modi during election campaigning. Sitharaman said the Congress was completely frustrated and accused it of using condemnable language due to political desperation. The delegation urged the poll body to take the strictest possible action. The Bombay High Court has discharged 4 accused in the 2006 Malegaon blast case and quashed charges against them. The Bombay High Court has discharged 4 accused in the 2006 Malegaon blast case and quashed charges against them. The bench allowed appeals against a special court order that had framed charges earlier. The decision marks a significant development in the long-running case. NIA court sentences 7 in Bengaluru radicalization case. A special NIA court has sentenced 7 accused, including Lashkar-e-Toiba member T. Nasir, to 7 years of imprisonment. The case involved radicalization and recruitment of prisoners for terror activities. Authorities said the conspiracy included training and indoctrination. Fines have also been imposed on the convicted individuals. Actor Nusrat Jahan appears before ED in fraud probe. Actor and former TMC MP Nusrat Jahan appeared before the Enforcement Directorate in Kolkata in connection with a housing fraud case. She was accompanied by her husband Yash Das Gupta but declined to speak to the media. Officials said the summons is part of an ongoing investigation. Supreme Court agrees to hear plea challenging NIA Act. The Supreme Court issued notice on a plea challenging the validity of the National Investigation Agency Act 2008. The petition argues that the law is violative of Article 14 and beyond the centre's legislative competence. A bench of Justices Vikram Nath and Sandeep Mehta sought responses from the centre and the NIA. IRS officer's daughter found murdered in Delhi. Daughter of a senior IRS officer was found murdered at her residence in southeast Delhi's Amar Colony. Police said the body was discovered under suspicious circumstances by family members. An investigation has been launched to determine the cause and identify suspects. Students protest Ambedkar portrait removal at JNU hostel. Students at Jawaharlal Nehru University staged protests after alleging that a hostel warden removed a portrait of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The Tapti Hostel Committee termed the act deeply shameful and accused the warden of forcibly removing the portrait twice. Authorities have yet to respond formally. Former Andhra Chief Minister Nadindla Bhaskar Rao passes away. Former Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Nadindla Bhaskar Rao died at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. He served briefly as Chief Minister in 1984 and was a co-founder of the Telugu Desam Party. He was undergoing treatment in Hyderabad. His last rites will be held on April 24. Strait of Hormuz disruptions not distant events, says Rajnath Singh in Germany. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, speaking in Germany, warned that disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz have direct implications for India's security and economic stability. He highlighted India's dependence on West Asia for energy and said such developments cannot be seen as distant geopolitical issues. Addressing the German Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defense, he also noted that emerging technologies are making global security challenges more complex. Trump extends Iran ceasefire, talks on hold. US President Donald Trump announced an indefinite extension of the Iran ceasefire as talks remain stalled. The move comes just before the truce was set to expire. Planned negotiations in Pakistan have been put on hold after Iran refused to participate. Iran says it has seized 2 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Revolutionary Guard is escorting seized ships to the Iranian coast. The incident comes amid heightened tensions and stalled ceasefire talks. Iran executes man over alleged Mossad links. Iran has executed a man convicted of cooperating with Israel's Mossad spy agency. The judiciary said the execution followed due legal process and final approval. Lufthansa cuts 20,000 summer flights as fuel prices surge. German airline Lufthansa will cut 20,000 short-haul flights over the summer, citing soaring fuel costs that have made several routes unprofitable. Jet fuel prices have doubled since the start of the US-Israel-Iran conflict, disrupting production and transportation across the region. The airline said it would scale back its European network while maintaining long-haul connectivity. Passengers are expected to retain access to global routes despite the cuts. Ukraine seeks Turkey to host Zelensky-Putin meeting. Ukraine has requested Turkey to host a meeting between President Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha said Kyiv is exploring multiple venues to revive stalled peace talks. Discussions are ongoing with several countries. Nepal Home Minister Sudhan Gurung resigns amid financial conduct questions. Sudhan Gurung has resigned less than a month after taking office following scrutiny over his financial dealings. He stepped down citing the need for an impartial investigation into allegations related to his investments and business links. Gurung said, and I quote, "For me, ethics is greater than position and there is no greater force than public trust," while also referencing the growing Gen Z movement demanding transparency. China praises African nations for denying Taiwan president airspace. China has praised Seychelles, Mauritius, and Madagascar for denying airspace access to Lai Ching-te, forcing him to cancel a planned trip to Eswatini. This marks the first time a Taiwan president has had to cancel an entire foreign visit due to such restrictions. Beijing denied exerting economic pressure but said it highly appreciates the country's adherence to the One China principle. Lai responded by asserting he would not be cowed by external pressure. UK passes bill to ban cigarette sales for future generations. The UK Parliament has approved a landmark bill banning cigarette sales to individuals born after 2008. Health Minister Wes Streeting called it a historic moment aimed at creating a smoke-free generation. The legislation is designed to curb long-term addiction and health risks. Harvey Weinstein rape retrial begins in New York. Harvey Weinstein's rape retrial has begun in New York with prosecutors highlighting issues of power and control. Defense lawyers argued the case revolves around consent and regret. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg was present during proceedings. That's all we have for you today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest.